Rocío mira para el norte y suelta un suspiro de bendiciones y dolor. Y siente el frío de la mañana, el calor de su corazón. My musical influences definitely come from, my background being Mexican and American, my mom being American, my dad being Mexican, and kind of growing up between Mexico and the United States all of my life. And, just being able to draw from those two cultures musically and as well with the language and with everything, it's been kind of been able to shape me as a person, but also being able to shape my sound musically as an artist. I began playing music when I was 11, and the reason I started playing guitar was because my dad played guitar and my grandpa played, and it was something that the family did together in Mexico, and so we'd get together and sing anything from José Alfredo Jiménez, mariachi, música folclórica. This all kind of got started because I made an EP of 5 songs, all in Spanish, and I paid for it myself, and it got produced and it came out really well, and started sending it around. And the next thing I knew, I had a manager, and we started sending it out to different producers, and the one producer I wanted to work with was Gustavo Santolaya, who was known for producing Juanes and Café Tacuba and Molotov. And one day his A&R guy, Adrian Sosa, called me out of the blue. He said, "We got your demo, we really like it." And they get probably like 100 demos a month. So for me, it was super flattering and also kind of a dream come true, because this is the one guy I wanted to work with and the only guy that called me back. And then we started working on the album that would become Entre la Ciudad y el Mar. And so the idea of like La Ciudad was always something that I had kind of played with. And I wrote a song after the EP called La Ciudad, which is the first song on Entre la Ciudad y el Mar. It kind of starts the idea of all the different themes and the songs that you come across in the album. It's funny, in the album Entre la Ciudad y el Mar, there are definitely two different kind of pieces to the album. One side is kind of the songs about kind of cultural and political, kind of social conscience, songs dealing with, being in Mexico and wanting to come here to get a better life, or also being in the United States, working and missing the people back in Mexico, the things that I would see as Mexican and American going across the border. And so the other side of it was that I got to also write songs about El Mar, which is kind of songs about more personal experiences, about love and the loss of love, and kind of that search about who I am as a person, kind of thing. So the album really combines those two themes really well. State Farm on the Celebrity Music Teacher for a Day program. This is my second year doing it, and it's been a great experience because I get to go to school and talk to kids that are in music classes that are involved in music about the habits of safe driving. Also talk to them about creativity and songwriting, and kind of build those two things together, because that's what, I'm not the most technical musician, or they know way more about theory than I do, but my strength is creativity and imagination, and be able to curate songs. And for them to kind of see how you can do that and how you can use the power of creativity to make a song or to take something and improvise it. It's super interesting for us. I learn from them and they learn from me, so that's been super positive. To receive the Grammy nomination was a big surprise, first of all, because I really had no idea that it was going to be nominated, because I wasn't nominated in the Latin Grammys. And so all of a sudden to get nominated with my nan, Calle 13, who was here the other night at the Pachangafest, it was a dream, it was a dream come true, but it was also like the prize for like 2 years of really hard work and sacrifice. So it just goes to show that you put in the work, and sometimes God rewards you in really great ways. A big difference between playing, in Mexico and the States. I think especially, if you come from the States and you play here, sometimes you don't get the credit that you should get, because everyone's kind of like, oh, you got to come from Mexico to be able to make it. People here are like, if you come from Mexico, they're like, pay attention to you. Whereas if you're singing English and you go to Mexico, they pay attention to you. And then if you sing in Spanish, they're like, whatever, So it's only kind of these different bridges that we have to get out to divide, especially here in the States. We should be more supportive of our local artists, more supportive of the people that are coming up and making music here. especially because it's, it just goes to show that we as Mexican and Americans have things to offer musically and culturally that, if you're strictly just Mexican, you probably don't have to offer as much, because you don't have that rich a base of cultural things to draw from. So I've been playing in Los Angeles and, and being able to kind of enjoy and see the different sides of like the Latin kind of culture and Latin community of artists in LA, which is super cool. And it's been really nice to kind of see and to grow up with. And there's like a tight-knit community, and it's a really small world, so everyone gets to know each other and play together. And there's a great place called Mucho Wednesdays, where a lot of artists would come from Mexico City and would play there, and then from out there they'd get to be other places. So I got to meet a lot of people that I only heard about. And now that I'm down in Mexico, now that we're friends and I hang out with them, and it's been super interesting just kind of have all those strings tied together. Because in the end, like as musicians, like we have a lot more things that kind of unite us and that we can do together. And it doesn't have to be about being competitive. It's about kind of helping each other out, because if it goes well for you, it goes well for me, kind of thing. And that's been kind of the great thing about the Latin artist community. Musically, for me right now, I've been working on songs for the next album, and it's been an interesting process because for the first album you have your whole life to write songs. Whereas for the second album, you have, a year or a couple, months, kind of put everything together. So it's kind of just finding the right group of songs to put together, and just kind of go out playing them with the band and seeing how it feels. Because I'd really like this album to be more like a band album, to play it like live and to have that energy together, and to see how that sounds. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you just got to find more songs. In the end, it's about the song. It all comes down to what the song is and what the song's saying, and if it's good, it's good, and you can't deny it. A good song is a good song no matter what. So it's about finding and searching for those songs that speak to your heart.